Hey guys, JSimLady here. Welcome back. I'm playing Disney Dreamlight Valley today, and today I am going to decorate Dazzle Beach. It's the height of summer right now. I thought it would be the perfect time to get Dazzle Beach all decorated back up and looking pretty again. And so I wanted to do this before we get onto Honeyglow Woods. I'm very excited to get onto Honeyglow Woods, but I really enjoyed decorating Dazzle Beach as well, so let's get into that. Okay, the first thing you'll notice is that it's nighttime, and I do a lot of my building at night. It's just sometimes I forget to change the graphic settings to make it look like daytime, unfortunately. The second thing you'll notice is that there's a lot of lighting changes and weather changes. I can't control the weather in the game, and it will sometimes abruptly change. Like you just saw, it wasn't raining at Dazzle Beach, and then we went over to the Glade of Trust and it was raining, and we came back to Dazzle Beach and it wasn't raining again. I don't know. I don't think that it rains only in one biome, and so I don't really know what happened there. This is sped up, but in real time, it took maybe like 5 minutes at the most, and I think that's even pushing it. Like, I don't even think it took 5 minutes for me to take Ursula's house, not be able to decide where to put it, go over to the Glade of Trust and see if it would work there, decide it doesn't work there because you can't access it, and then bring it back. So I don't know if there was some kind of temporary weather glitch where it briefly rained for a second and then it stopped. I don't know. But there will be some foggy times that you'll see. There's just a lot of changes because you can't control the weather. It happens regardless. Oh, actually, no. It might still actually be raining. I could not see that before, but now looking at the grass, I can see that it is still raining. So never mind, it wasn't a glitch or anything. It is still raining, but it started raining while I was building. So you don't really get to control the weather. The weather happens regardless, and it's like on some kind of cycle. I don't know, but it's always raining in my game, so you're gonna see that a lot. It's either raining or foggy in my game all the time. Just all the time. So those are the things that you're gonna notice the most, is the changing lighting conditions, just simply because I forget to change them. I'm very sorry about that. I try to remember, it just slips my mind sometimes. I'll be honest, at this point in the build, I was not super liking it or super happy with it. It even where it ends up being at the point where we get to when I do the tour at the end, I still don't love it. Like, it's not my most favorite biome, but I do have a lot of stuff to unlock yet. And there is the potential that I could move one or two characters up to the Dazzle Beach floating island. So my thoughts on the floating islands are they're great for overflow spaces, or if you have your valley decorated really nice and you need to do a dream snap and you don't have anywhere else in your valley to do it, and you want to make an outdoor scene or whatever. That's what the floating islands are good for. They're good for like storage areas or like a garden. Although, to be honest with you, regardless of how you feel about storage areas and like having a garden all in one spot of every plant available in the game rather than planting them in their biome. The floating islands, if you buy all the DLC that are available, the floating islands have been, in my personal opinion, virtually rendered useless. That's my personal opinion on it. I just they don't feel fully connected to the rest of the game, number one. The only characters that show up on them are the characters who have homes on them, or the characters that you specifically mark to show up on them. And then at that, it's only a small handful of characters that can and will be on any one floating island at any one time. So you could mark every single character in the game to show up, and it's not going to. They're not going to. You're only going to get a small handful of them, and they're going to be the same small handful every time. They don't rotate out or anything. So it's kind of, and you don't get drops, you don't get spawns, you don't get anything on the floating islands. I don't even know. Yeah, there's not, like, they're great for decorating and overflow and storage space. That's about it that I can think of. Maybe you can let me know down in the comments how other ways they might be useful. But yeah, so I don't want to have to put a ton of characters up there. I will be honest though, I did put Merlin up on the Plaza Island because that's what he wanted when that quest came about. When they first introduced them, he wanted to be up on the Plaza Island, so I put him there. And then I did a quest with Vanellope that showed her in the peaceful meadow, and I didn't really have anywhere to put her in the peaceful meadow other than the original spot where I had Merlin at, or where the game had Merlin at, actually. So I put her there, and I ended up deciding that I guess Merlin would stay on the Plaza floating island after all. And then I thought that my not my Glade of Trust, my Forest of Valor was gonna get really full really fast. So I didn't want to put Cinderella there, and I don't really feel like she belongs in a snowy biome like in Wish Blossom Ranch. I just don't feel that for her. So I didn't want to put her in a snowy biome of Wish Blossom Ranch either. And since I had Merlin on the Plaza floating island, I figured, you know what better place to put Cinderella? Because, like, she's the character. If you're a Walt Disney World person and not a Disneyland person, Cinderella is the character. She's like the thing for Disney. And like her castle is there and everything, and it used to be all Cinderella this and Cinderella that. So she's like, what would you call that? Like I don't know. Anyways, you know what I'm trying to say. So I didn't want to just stick her off in a side area either, and I thought, well, you know, the best solution is to put her up on the Plaza floating island then, because she is like the head castle of that island, and that kind of works. And you'll see that build video in the future, and it all kind of works together like that. And then of course, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I put Jack Skellington and Sally on the Forgotten Lands floating island because I don't like them. Oh, that was my dog, and she scared me so bad. Just ignore her. She's in such a mood lately. She got a vet appointment later this week because she's been in such a mood lately, and I don't know if she's just getting old or if she's got a bad tooth or what, but she is just so moody lately. Anyways, if you've been watching my channel, you know that I'm not a huge fan of Tim Burton stuff. Don't love it, never really have. Like when desperate times called for desperate measures as a kid, I would watch a Tim Burton movie or whatever, but only if I was forced to. It's not my thing. It's not my cup of tea. I'm not judging it. I just don't personally like it. And I, in particular, don't love The Nightmare Before Christmas and all those kind of things. So, yeah, at first I put them on the frosted floating island because, Nightmare Before Christmas, I thought it fit better there. And then I got to know the movie a little bit better as I was trying to decorate around them and stuff. I looked it up and I got to know it a little bit better and stuff. And I realized that it doesn't actually fit there, even though there's a lot of Christmas imagery involved. It really doesn't fit in a Christmas area per se, or a wintry area, or anything like that. So then I got the Forgotten Lands floating island and I moved Jack and Sally there, and I plan on doing Halloween builds up there, kind of like last Christmas I did Christmas builds up on the frosted floating islands. Now that's a great thing for the floating islands, to do specific holiday builds, or to like have your garden or your storage island. It's perfect for that as well. But yeah, to have a lot of characters up on the floating islands, I'm not feeling it. I don't want to do that unless I absolutely have to. If I had anywhere else I could put Cinderella that I felt she really went, I would absolutely bring her back down off the floating plaza island. And I would move Merlin to the Forest of Valor. Unless we get a DLC at some point that gives us a candy area that we can put Ralph and Vanellope in, and then I can move Merlin back to his original spot in the Peaceful Meadow. His story never indicated that he didn't want to be around the other characters until they introduced the floating islands. And then suddenly it was, oh, I don't want to be here. I want to be up on the floating island. And look, it's my game. I can put the characters where I want. But for now, they are on the floating islands, and I don't really have plans to put any more up on the floating islands. Nope, I take that back. I might put Buzz and Woody up on a floating island because I might maybe put my future like amusement park, theme park with the rides and stuff up on a floating island. And so I might maybe put Buzz and Woody up there too. And just because eventually we are gonna start to run out of space, honestly. We really are. Especially places like Dazzle Beach. It looks like a massive biome, but then you try to fit Prince Eric, Ariel, Moana, Maui, Ursula, Donald, and Stitch, all of their houses all in this one biome, and you start to realize very quickly that the houses, when you start to get that many of them, don't fit that well. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm rambling a lot. I know. I'm a little bit like overwhelmed. I've not been feeling well, like at all, the last several days. I am trying to get ahead in videos. When I finish this one, I'll be one day ahead. I'm hoping to get a couple of weeks ahead in videos so that I can do regular live streaming and keep up with editing simultaneously. Like maybe even do daily live streaming during the week, potentially at some point. I would love to be able to do that, but I have a kid and I have 2 dogs, and I can't just sit at the computer and edit for 5 hours and then live stream for another 3. Like, I have responsibilities. I have a lot of responsibilities. I'm primary caregiver to all these little critters, and so I just don't have the time, honestly, to do all of that every single day. And honestly, even if I did and I wanted to, I wouldn't be able to, because sitting at this desk chair causes me so much pain sometimes. I broke my pelvis many, many years ago, and I have some nerve damage as a result. And so sitting on anything other than my couch becomes incredibly painful at times. And I can't do it. I have a special seat cushion and everything, and still, it does not help. So even if I wanted to spend 8 hours every day just sitting here playing games and stuff, I physically would not be able to do it. But I'd love to start live streaming a lot more regularly, but I also need to be able to keep up with editing my YouTube videos, and that gets to be a lot. So but I'm trying to get ahead in the YouTube videos so that I can live stream, and I have more time to edit as I'm, going through. I might also go back to what I used to do and live stream everything and then edit those down to make videos for YouTube again like I used to. Anyway, we're pretty much done with the speed build, so I'm gonna stop rambling now. Alright, let's get into the tour. So I've got my main street, I guess I call it, from the Dream Castle, straight by Mickey and Minnie and Goofy and Daisy, which leads right down these main steps to Dazzle Beach. And you'll see that we have Donald right here next to his friends right up over the stairs there. Then if we go this way, it's not overly decorated, but it does lead to the glade up this way. You'll have to come back for another video for that one. And then we have Stitch over here. I assume at some point in the not too distant future, we'll be adding Lilo to that as well. I did leave lots of beach space open over here, partly for spawns, but also partly for future items. I do not yet have Eric's ship, Prince Eric's ship. I haven't decided if I'm going to put more fairy ships, because I have the fairy ship over there. You'll see it, the ferry boat, in a minute. Over here on this side, and put Prince Eric's ship over there on that side, or put his ship over here, but we have time. I have a long ways to go before I unlock his ship, so it'll be a while. Then we have Ariel's beautiful house that I absolutely love and will never move off of Dazzle Beach, because I want it to be here to enjoy all the time. This is one of my most favorite houses in the game. And I decorated with some mostly Moana stuff, ironically, I guess. But I've never seen Moana, so maybe it makes sense. But a shell stage and just various different underwater aquatic things, I guess. And then I put one over here right next to Ariel's house. We've got some little decorations over here with some more shells and stuff, and then a little beach area to relax and watch the waves go by and sunbathe on the beach. We have Moana's little area with Pua and a little wading pool and a resting area, and then we've got kind of a little shopping district, I guess is what I'd call it, over here. I did go ahead and get Moana's Goofy stall skin because I really wanted it to match the area. So I went ahead and got that. And then I moved Maui over here because it just blends in. Is that how you say his name? Now I can't remember how you say his name, but I feel like it just fits over here in this corner and blends in. And then of course we have Eric's house over here tucked into the corner, which I guess it's not really a house, it's a castle. And I thought it fit the best there, so that's where I ended up putting it. And then you go up here to the Glade of Trust and here to the meadow. So there you have it. There's how I have my Dazzle Beach decorated so far. I have so many things to unlock yet that could potentially go down here, so I can't wait for all of that stuff. On that note, if you enjoyed this video, if you're enjoying my channel, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!